يستفتونك قل الله يفتيكم في الكلالة إن امرؤ هلك ليس له ولد وله أخت فلها نصف ما ترك وهو يرثها إن لم يكن لها ولد فإن كانت اثنتين فلهما الثلثان مما ترك إن كانوا إخوة رجالا ونساء فللذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين يبين الله لكم أن تضلوا والله بكل شيء عليم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه. We give thanks to Allah, we ask the blessing on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household companions and all Muslims. Inshallah, today we want to take one of the very sensitive aspects of Islamic inheritance, and it is titled Al-Huquq Al-Muta'alliqat بالتركة. Again, الحقوق المتعلقة بالتركة, rights that are related to the estate. So rights that are related to the estate. So that is what we are taking, meaning that after the death of the deceased, there are some processes that we need to take. We don't just go on straight on mubasharat and go and distribute the inheritance of the words of the deceased. No, there are processes that we should follow. There are some things we should observe before we distribute the inheritance of the deceased, and so those things are listed here. So if you look at what is on our screen, you see that we have 5 items that are here. So now, in these 5 items that we listed here, we start with al-huquq al-ayniyya. We call this real rights. We will explain it inshallah. We also have tajhizul majid, funeral rights. That is the second. We also have ad-duyun al-mursala, which we have liabilities. The fourth is al-wasiyya, to bequests. And we also have tawzi'ul miras, tawzi'u al-miras. This is the fifth. You can see that this thing, the way we arrange them, that is the way they come with step. Do we understand now? Unlike those things that we have discussed before, we discussed mawani al-irith, those inhibitors of inheritance, asbab and this thing. Those we just number them. It is not compulsory those number must be that way. But when we are talking about al-huquq al-muta'alliqa bi tarika, rights that are related to the estate of the deceased, they must follow a pattern. So this pattern that we see on our screen is the one from the words from the majority of the scholar. You can see, if I put this up, you see we go to here. This is by majority of the scholars. What do we mean by three mazahib have this arrangement in order? Who are the three mazahib? The Malikiyya, the Shafi'iyya, and the words and the Hanafiyya. So this is how they said things should go. When the deceased is dead, this is the first thing we look at. Do we understand now? Then we do this, we perform this task, then we follow this with respect to the words, to the property of the deceased. We are mentioning this with respect, following this step with respect to the property the deceased left behind. Do you get now? Now we also have another arrangement. The difference is that is just that what we make the first and the second item here, the first item and the second item, the Hanabila, which I have not mentioned, they said these funeral rights should come first before the rewrite. So let me go to the second page. You can see, so this arrangement is from the Hanabila, can we see? So they are saying that the tajhiz al-majid, since the expenses that the what's it called, the the that will be needed, the expenses that will be needed to bury the deceased should be taken care of first before al-huquq al-ainiyya. Do we understand now? So this is by Hanabila scholars. So this is one of the mufradat of the Hanabila where they did not go with the other three mazahib. So quickly I will use the one of the Jumhur inshallah. So that is what we use just to explain when we get to deeper into the class. Things will be explained to us because this is one of the very sensitive aspects of Islamic inheritance, inshallah. So quickly, so let us look at this now. Let's start explaining. So as we mentioned to us, these are the steps to be taken before the with respect to the estate of the deceased, with respect to the estate of the soul. The first is al-huquq al-'ainiyya. These are, you can see we termed it as what's a real right, real right. So that's what we termed it as. So what do we mean by that? Meaning that even if the deceased died and he left some properties, we now realize that some of the property left by the deceased, others have rights on that property. We can still see the right of another person on it. Such property cannot be shared among the words, among the heirs, until the right of those people are dispensed. Do you understand? If other people have right on something, on the property of the deceased, the rights need to be what's clear of before we can distribute such property. Even in Islam, we know if you see the heading we mentioned, we said al-huquq al-muta'alliqa to the terika, something a deceased have left, but another person's writing is that we don't call it a what, a terika. We cannot call it a what, we can't call it a terika. Do we understand that? We can't call it a terika. Do you understand? Because another person's property is still there, so we don't call it terika until that is clear. So let's give us an example. For instance, somebody have a usufruct. Do you get a usufruct? That means they have something and that person has share in it. Or for instance, another example we can give is that there is still what's it called, in the property of the person he has, there was a time the person used one of his property as collateral. He has a car, so he now went to take a loan from one of his friends and he used the car as a what, as a collateral. That car cannot be inherited by his by his heirs until that debt is clear. Do you understand now? Or let's say during the time of slavery, when the master of the slave died, that slave will be inherited by the heirs. Do you understand now? Such slave, for instance, if let's say the slave committed a crime at a particular place, do you understand now? And there is a fine need to be paid on that crime he has committed. Do you understand? Such slave can never be this until that debt or fine is what is paid off. Do you understand? So because the right of another person is there, or for instance somebody, there's a particular this maybe there's a particular property, another person's right is in that property. Do you understand now? So such need to be cleared up first before the property can be what, can be shared by the by the heirs. Or for instance, the mahar of the wife have not been taken away, have not been taken out of the wealth. This needs to be removed first. So this is what the scholars are saying. The majority of the scholars are saying, they are saying that because we can't start dispensing the wealth of somebody while another person's right is in the what, is in the property left by the what, by the deceased. So Islam don't want that, because Islam is a religion of, is a just religion. So do you understand now? So the second is what, tajhiz al-majid. You can see on our screen, tajhiz, that's funeral rites. So this also is also a very very important aspect. That's, and that, what do we mean by funeral rites? Things that are required to bury the dead. Islam wants that it should be from the wealth of the deceased. So this should be from the wealth of the what, of the deceased. So if the deceased have enough, it's good that we take it out of the wealth of the deceased. Do you understand? You see that, look at Mus'ab bin Umair when he was to be buried, when his clothes was not enough, the prophet said he should be covered with grass, because his good is, that's the best. It should be from the what, from the wealth of the what, of the deceased. Now when we now say with the wealth of this deceased can be taken to what to do funeral rites. This is defined. What Islam is saying is that what is necessary to bury the deceased, to put the deceased in the ground, and what are those things, because there are some things when people do, all these are just waste of money. Sharia did not require them from you. When we say this thing is in tajhid al-mayyit, we are talking about three things. What is the first is what? At-tagsil. What? At-tagsil. What do you mean by tagsil? Bathing the dead. Bathing the what? The dead. Things that require, oh, they want to buy this, they want to buy this, they want to buy this, they want to get water, they want to get this, that require for bathing the dead, or where they go and bath the dead, it will require money for transportation. All this Sharia permits that. Also is that what we call al-what, we call at-takfin. At-takfin, please let's note all this we are mentioning. At-takfin, that's the second. So, and that is what? Clothing the dead. You say, oh, they want to go and buy China, and it's so and so person that will buy. If you go to market, you will take transport 2k, you will buy that cloth at so and so price 1,500, or kini con kit, janoza kit that is being sold by 12,000 naira. All this is permitted. Because why are we saying all this? When the deceased is dead, all the property has left. It's only evidence we can use the words to take the property that has become sacred. People just say somebody take Baba's phone, somebody take Baba's this thing. No, they have to be inherited according to the Sharia. After the death of the deceased, anything you want to take from his property is through evidence. You can't take anything. Everything has become sacred. It's only what the Sharia permitted. So we must fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So at-taksil, at-takfin, and what's the third thing? At-dafnu. At-dafnu. Burying the what? Burying the everything require. Transport to take the person to the maqbara. And we want to pay for this. Say the maqbara collect 30,000. I'm talking being realistic, that 5,000, 40,000. And the ambulance that will take the dead, and there's one paper permit they will collect. All this we can take it from the what? From the distance. So things that are related to these three, or for the expenses of these three, that is what Sharia permitted. Anything out of this that is not connected to the burial of the deceased, and they want to pay canopy, and they want to shake unicorn, something, and you're taking from dead, and they want to kill malu, they want to, all these things Sharia never, it's not the Sharia that says you should do that. It's the wahala you people put on yourself. It's not Sharia that sanction you for it. Stop wasting the wealth of the deceased, especially many of our family members in Yoruba land. Let the children of deceased have something beneficial they can inherit. Sometimes we are even see people just because they want to give their family a kinikan burial. One of the property of that deceased, they sold it because they want to do a big party. Subhanallah, this is rough. Subhanallah. So we should note that this what we this anything that is not related to this thing, it should not be so. So wala tusrifu, we should not be extravagant or want to do fori kinikan, they go and mash up doing this oríṣiríṣi that people do. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us. I mean, so that is the second, that we can, with respect to the words, to the property left by the deceased. So we have mentioned the first one, hukukul ainiya. Ain means, ain here is not uju, it's not I, but the ain we are talking about here means what? When we say the ain here, we means property. So rights another person has on the property of the deceased should be cleared off. We also mentioned tajiz al-mayyit, so things that are needed to what? To bury the dead. Islam permits that it should be taken from the wealth of the deceased, inshallah. So quickly, let's move to the third one. We call it ad-duyunu al-mursala, or you can say al-huquq al-mursala. So these are huquq fi zimma, ad-duyunu fi zimma. These are liabilities, something that with the wealth the deceased owes that directly. He's owing somebody 300,000, he's doing this, he's doing that. So these are direct what? Debts somebody is owing. So what we need to, this is now divided into two. We have daynul ibad, you can see it there. Under that aduyunu murusala, you can see two lines. So we have daynu maza, we have there daynul ibad, and we have daynullahi. Can you see the two? So let me expand so that our viewers, you can see it well. You can see. So we have So you can see this is Dainul Ibad. We also have Dainullah. So Dainul Ibad are what the person owe humans. You owe Yarafa 300,000. You owe CS 5,000. He's owing so and so person money. So this is Dainul Ibad. Do you understand? We also have Dainullahi. The debts the person is owing Allah. Many of the majority of these debts with the Dainullah, they are mostly what? They are mostly ibadah. So, and some of them, majority of them, they can be ibadah to malija, ibadah that requires your wealth to perform them. So if the person is owing, so let's give example of Dainullah. Somebody is already due to go to Hajj, like basically the person did not go. The person is due for zakat after a howl is over. The person did not pay what? The person did not pay zakat. Do we understand now? When the person is owing this thing kafaro, the person have not fulfilled that kafaro, or somebody make an oath that, oh Allah, if you can pass me very well, I'm a student of Unilag, if you pass me I will donate 50,000 to your cause. He never does that, and he make an oath to Allah, he make a vow, he did not fulfill it. So all these are Dainullah, they will fall under Dainullah. Person is owing some fasting Ramadan, he has not fast, do that. So all these are Dainullah the person is owing. So it is expected that they are taken from the words, from the wealth of the person after his death if he's owing. So that is Dainullah. So also have Dainul Ibad. Now the question is, which one should be, when if the person has enough wealth he has left, all this should be taken, both Dainullah and Dainul Ibad, they should be taken from the property of the deceased. Now let's now say the money is not enough, that when we will say this thing, the money will be perishing fulfilling this Dainullah and Dainul Ibad. Which one should we now give preference between Dainullahi and Dainul Ibad? So the scholars differ that which one should come first. Is it Dainullah or the debt is owed to humans, or the one is owed to Allah? So expectedly, how many views should we expect the scholars should have? 2 views, Abi? Or like, oh, they should have 2 views. Some of them should hold that okay, it is debt of humans that should come first, or some will say it's debt of Allah that should come first. But the way our scholars think brilliantly is even more than that. It's not 2 views they have 4 views. Allah Akbar. So what's the and the 4 Mozahib, they have different approach to this issue. So the Hanafiya, they said it is Dainul Ibad that we will concentrate on. This Dainul Ibad, debt to humans. But Dainullahi, we will leave it. I said the person write a wasiya on that. The person writes a will that, oh, I'm owing Allah so and so. Well, after my death, remove it from my wealth. If the person did not say that, and we are aware that the person is owing Allah, that we should not worry about it. Rather, we should concentrate on Dainul Ibad, what is owing humans. Do we understand? And that's what the Hanafiya said. What did they say that? They said because when we say Dainullahi, Dainullahi are ibadah. And we all know that whenever somebody is owing ibadah, the root is the basic rule is that after the death of the person, the ibadah will be the ibadah will sakoto. I don't know the English, I can use to capture that very well. So do you understand now? So for instance, somebody is owing salat. That's what we all know very very well. The person died, are we going to pay up the salat back for him? Do you understand now? So we only seek for forgiveness and all that. So the same thing apply to all of that, because all these things we have mentioned on that Dainullahi, they are what ibadah, or things that are related to ibadah. So that's that. So they now mention something that we all know, that when we say Dainullah, he say mubniyun ala al-maza musamaha. Do you get now? It's mubniyun ala al-was musamaha. So that is that when we say something is with Allah, the root is that Allah will let go of that thing. But when we say that something we are owing humans, the humans are tend to ask for what you are owing them, because human always is always in need. Look at the time of economics we have. Somebody is now owing me like 200 million, 20 million, 2 million. I will be longing to get it. I will be really wishing to get it. So they said because Dainul Ibad Mobinijun alal Mushaha. So I will write what I'm saying. They say Dainul is Mobinijun alal Maza alal Musamaha. So can we see? Don't mind my writing. Do we guess? And Dainul Ibad, they say that is Mobinijun alal Maza alal Mushaha. Mushaha. So can we see? So Shada is on the ha. Mabniyun ala al-mushaha. Human will want to, they want that word because they are shahihun naturally. So, but anything we Allah, most likely Allah is a forgiving being. Allah will surely forgive us. So he said, so after death, ibadah will stop, cease being cease being composed on mukallaf. So, and it should not be taken from the wealth. So that is the view of the words of the Hanafiya. Now quickly the Malikiya, what did they say? They said we will, the two we will consider, but Dainullahi will be giving preference first. So when we settle Dainul Ibad will be giving preference. So when we settle Dainul Ibad, something is still remaining. Okay, we now can now move to what? Dainullahi. So that is the view of the Malikiya. That same, this thing we quote, that's Dainullahi Mabinijun ala al-maza ala al-musamaha. So that's what they also say. Do you get now? So and they say Dainul Maza, Dainul Ibad Mobinijun ala al Maza Mushaha. So that's what they too, they are what they are saying. So do we get now? So they say because the death of Allah, Allah will surely go. So we should give preference to the death of humans. That humans will really want their wealth, they want to demand for it. So that's that. So the Shafani quickly, let's go. They say that it is the of Allah that we should give preference because we have numerous hadiths that says that the Prophet said there that فَدَيْنُ اللَّهِ أَحَقُّ أَنْ يُقْضَى. It is the debt of Allah that should be given more give preference to be what to be paid off. So they say it is the day of Allah we should give preference to. So if the wealth is now remaining, we can go back to Dainul Ibad, the wealth owed to humans. So that is the view of the what of the Shafi'i school. Now we have the last is the view of the Hanabila. So they say that what we will do is that when the wealth is not enough to pay both the Dainullah and Dainul Ibad, what we will do? We will do what is called al-muhaswa. So that is what we are going to do. So meaning that we will be checking the two words together. We will be checking it when we take from this, there's a way we calculate it. So this is a course on its own. This everything when we are doing wasiya, it's been taken up with it. So there's a way it is being calculated. So that is what we do there. So we take it with each other. So we look, we can take some here, take some. There's a percentage we take off the two. So there's a way it is being calculated. You can see Islamic inheritance, how complex it is. So that is that. Now quickly, that is the third this thing. So from the wealth. So the next we will now move to, if we have cleared all this, we move to al-wasiyya. Let's say the deceased what? This deceased has words that this deceased from this he words he bequests something that should be given to people. So they are among those on the general notes, let's say they are not inheriting slaves and they are not among those who are inheriting. So the person now writes a bequest. The bequest should not be more than 1/3 of the wealth. Let's note the bequest can be no more than, and it should be after all these debts you have mentioned have been settled. Do you understand? So let's say the business, okay, from my wealth something that is below 1/3 or the maximum of 1/3 should be taken out. So we will execute that. We execute the bequest. So do you guess now? So because Allah said me the wasiyatin, and we have 4 ways it is mentioned in the Quran. You say biha udain. So we have me the wasiyatin, to so biha udain, to suna biha udain, you suna biha udain. So do you get now? So the wasiya will be, it will be removed from it. So then the next, what now remain is for the what thousand ilmi and distribution of the estate to the what, to the what, to the inheriting what's it called, to the inheriting family he has left behind. So these are these things. So quickly, let's do a recap. Inshallah, let's quickly do a recap of what we have said so far on those this. So we have al-huquq al-muta'alliqatu bi-tarka. Those are the words that are the rights on the estate of the deceased, meaning that when the deceased die and left wealth, we don't just distribute the wealth. No, anything we want to do should be based on what an evidence. So what's the first? We'll look at, are there other people's right on this wealth? We'll give them their rights. Do we understand? That is al-huquq al-ainiya. So rights on the property. Right on the property. Ainiya means property. So the rights of other people, the debt of other people on this property, we take it out. Do you understand? And so what's the next one? Tajhiz ul majid. Things that are needed to bury the dead, all the expense is needed, we will remove it from the wealth of the deceased. So all this will be easier if somebody has what he has written a wasiya in with respect to this. He has written a will with respect to the will means not will to share your property. As a Muslim, you write a will on those you are owing, those you are this thing, those you are that. You put everything in a book so that we compensate. But it's not like the Western will. When they write their will is to share their property the way they want. Islam will not give you permission for you to share your property with your own volition. It's Islam that will share your property for you, but Islam wants you to avail those that will share your property, the inheritance experts, everything you have, and those you are owing. Also, what those will do with your will is people that are what the way you want people to bury you, and so this it will make all these aspects to be very easy. So the Jizl Moyit, we have three. What are those three? At-Taksil, how the bathing of the dead, at-Takfin, clothing the dead, and at-Dafnu, burying the dead. So things that surround it, we can take from the wealth of the deceased. Any other thing, you want to do party, you want to do kini this, Islam did not demand that from you. Emma Koran si wala. Stop wasting money. May Allah be with us. So what's the third one? Do you know Musala? The wealth that are what that we can call in English liabilities. So we have a debt owed to Allah and debt owed to humans. So we clear that off also from the wealth of the words of the deceased if there is any available. So please, all this will be easier if the person wrote it down, because sometimes people may not know, and it's not easy for people to talk. They say talo je baba lowo, who owns baba money? No, people baba have, people easily know. Mo gba bread and we lọ́wọ́ yàrá fa. I do this, I do that, people will know. Yes, now. So the fourth is aliwasiya, request that so and so person help me give the person this. Perhaps majority of those that maybe they can't inherit from the property and you want to do something for them after their death, so this can be implemented as long as it's not more than 1/3 of the worth of the remaining wealth. Do you get now? So we also have what we call thousand limit. So that is now after we have fulfilled all this, if they are available, the first four, that's when we now move to distribution of the estate in accordance with the words with the Sharia of Allah. With accordance with what you find in Surah 26 verse 11, we realize I have shared the property there, verse 12 and verse 176. It's not with accordance with Sam Mendes' law of inheritance. It's not with accordance with what the West are saying about how to share what inheritance. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, La mubadila li kalimati. So these are what we are taking under al-huquq al-muta'alliqa bi-tarika. We Allah said it from us as an act of ibadah. Now, we could say a lot of people find this thing new in there to their head that I'm just hearing this. So all these are they exist in time. Yes, they exist, and that's one of the goals we are doing this, coming up with this kind of program as a tawiyah, awareness for others, so that people will get to know about this. So you too can see how beautiful Islam is. All right of people should not take it. Islam don't want to take. If you take the people's debts, people's rights, and Allah will not forgive you. Do you understand? Because it must be fulfilled, must be clear. So the best way to avoid all this, even if you are poor now, write anybody you know that another person's right is with you, write it out. Have a will. Have a will you have written down. It's not will to share your property, will to avail what you have, and will on how to bury you. All this will even make you to be remaining the hereafter, like death can come at any time. So may Allah make it a blessing for us, make us understand more. So inshallah, there's also a video, a practical thing that happened to one of an old man that died, and the video we sent it out also. It has gone viral sometime on Facebook. We also share the video. Let's learn from it. Although it's in Yoruba language, maybe we can work on the video, bringing translation so that others too can benefit from it. It's a very good video that the Bada writes how everything should be done. So it's something practical, and it will help on this course we are taking. So watch out for that video. We are going to send it out to you, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Thanks for watching. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Quickly, this thing we have mentioned there, just in summary, there's a particular dawra for it also, especially this wasiyas, where it's a very wide aspect in Islamic inheritance. So when it's time in our consequent dawra, we'll do that too. So you understand how to calculate, how to remove this, how to do that. Inshallah, so may Allah accept it as an act of ibadah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ولكم نصف ما ترك أزواجكم إن لم يكن لهن ولد، فإن كان لهن ولد فلكم الربع مما تركن من بعد وصية يوصين بها أو دين، ولهن الربع مما تركتم إن لم يكن لكم ولد، فإن كان لكم ولد فلهن الثمن مما تركتم من بعد وصية توصون بها أو دين، وإن كان رجل يورث كلالة أو امرأة وله أخ أو أخت فلكل واحد منهما السدس، فإن كانوا أكثر من ذلك فهم شركاء في الثلث من بعد وصية يوصى بها أو دين غير مضار، وصية من الله، والله عليم حليم.